Hello friends, this is Shelley. Thank you for clicking on this tutorial. You guys are the best. Anyways, we are going to make these mittens and this beanie, both items in this one tutorial. Many people ask for toddler mittens, and I went to Google and I typed in the dimensions of a toddler, ages 1 to 3, their dimensions for their hand. And then from there, I made these little mittens on my machine. Now you can use your 22 needle machine or your bigger machines, doesn't matter, because we're doing a flat panel and you'll just use the amount of needles that you need. Okay. I followed the dimensions that I got, but you can easily make these a different size by adding more needles for the width or more rows for the height. So if these are too small or a little too big, then you adjust it accordingly just by following the techniques that I show you in this basic, well, it's not really a basic mitten pattern. You're going to learn a lot of little techniques, ribbing and flat panel, and it's just going to be fun how to add a thumb. And yeah, so join me in this tutorial and make a set for someone, some little person who's going to love it. I used Bernat Premium Tweed yarn in the color Rainbow Tweed, and it's absolutely gorgeous, goes through the machine like a dream. I did use my 22 needle machine for the mittens, and I used my 40 needle Sentro for the beanie, but you can use your 46 needle for either. Whatever you have. So go ahead and get your supplies ready, and we're going to make this cute set. The beanie is at the end of the video, so stick with me through that. And please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. I would appreciate that so very, very much, my friends. It helps my channel grow. And yeah, show me in my Facebook group the sets that you have made. So once you have your stuff, let's get going. All right, friends, so we're going to make a cute little toddler mitten. We're going to make 2 of them, and we're going to do that with our Addi or our Sentro machine. Does not matter which machine you choose, as long as it's got more than 19 needles, because we're going to do a flat panel over 19 needles. We're going to leave it in circular mode, because when we cast on a flat panel in circular mode, then every time it goes back past these black needles, it will count the row. Otherwise, if you do it in flat panel and you start at the beginning of the row, it only counts every second row. So I prefer to do it in circular mode. So we're going to do a flat panel over 19 needles. This middle black one will be our center one. So we're going to do 9 needles on either side, because 9 plus 9 is 18, plus this one is 19, okay? We're going to do a long tail cast on. So to do that, you're going to take a really long tail, literally. I always take more than I need because it runs out really quickly. You're going to put that tail that you just pulled off on the bottom, okay? This is coming out of the ball here, and this is the tail that you used, okay? We're going to put a slip knot right there, and we're going to attach that. We're going to go around to our 19th needle, our first needle. So if this is our middle needle, we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. This is going to be the first needle that we cast on. So again, this is where my working yarn is coming out of the ball, and this is my long tail that I just cut off. Okay, we're going to loop that over that needle, keep it nice and loose, just like that. Okay, then you're going to grab it so that you make a V, just like this. So I'm holding my 2 ends with my 2 fingers. So this one is kind of being held there as well. So you're just going to grab it like that with your fingers. Then you're going to rotate your hand so that the top of your hand is facing up. You're going to put your index finger and your thumb in there, just like that. You see? So you're going to grab this just like this. Then stick your index finger and your thumb in there and spread it out. Okay, so you've got a triangle. Your thumb is closest to you, your index finger is away. Then you're going to, and you see your hand is facing, the top side of your hand is up. You're going to just rotate your hand a half a turn so that your thumb and your finger are now up, okay? And you've created a little loop over your thumb. Just like this, it's coming around and a loop over your finger. You're going to go under that first one, over this second one, over that third one, and pull it through the first one, just like that. And then you've created a little loop. You're going to pull on that, and you're going to hook that over the next needle, just like that. Okay, bring this so that it's over here on this side. Okay, You're going to do that again. You're going to lift up. You're going to go underneath that first one that's closest to you, over the second one, over top of the third one, and bring that third one through that first one. And then just pull on both tails. You can let them go and just pull on it a bit to make your little loop over your finger there. Then put that loop over top of that next needle and turn your handle. Okay, you're going to do that one more time. Under that first one, over the second, over the third, pull it through. I do have a video showing you how to do the long tail cast on if you need to see it in a video of its own, but this is exactly how you do it, okay? You're going to put your fingers over both strands. This strand closest to you is your long tail that you cut off, okay? The strand farther from you is coming out of your skein. So you're going to grab, put those over your 3 fingers, close them. Then you're going to make sure that the one that is coming off the long tail is on the closest to you, and this one farther is the skein. Okay, put your thumb and your finger in there, rotate up, go under that first loop, over the second, over the third, and pull it through. And attach it to your needle. Okay, and then just give it a little tighten, but make sure there's still a little bit of space in there. You don't want it too tight. We're going to tighten it after the project is over. And you're going to continue doing that. And trust me, once you've done this a few times, you'll say, how did I think that was so hard? Because it's actually not. It is a little bit tricky, but it's not that hard. Okay. And we're going to just keep going just like this. Okay. And we're going to cast onto all 19 needles. And again, if your tension is different, don't worry. We're going to tighten that when we take our project off the machine. So we're going to just keep, oops, let's back that up just a little bit. There we go. Keep going. Now this was my middle one, so I want 9 on this side. It's fun to learn new things. Don't be scared, because once you learn it, you'll be so proud of yourself. Oops. It's like knitting needles. If you were to cast on with knitting needles like this, it's the same way, except for you're using your finger instead of, you're using your right hand finger instead of a knitting needle. Same thing. But in my video, I show you with a knitting needle. Only thing is in the video, unless I've corrected it, which I don't think I did, I think I just marked it under the description. Oh, I'm forgetting to count here. I put the long tail in the inside and did it wrong, so I made mention of that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 1 more. All right, I've switched the angle on here. I have 1 more to do. This is the second last one. This is 19. Oops, see what I mean by the handle? And I'm going to then go ahead and cut off the tail, but I'm going to leave a longer tail, just a bit of a longer to put in the center for sewing up later. Put that in there just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to go underneath that divider. It's to the left of the 19th needle and into the yarn feeder. Change my row counter to 0. And we are now going to knit 5 rows. Okay. So always got to help down that last needle over those red teeth. That last loop, and on the first one on the other side, always seemingly needing some help. Once you get it past under this red divider, put some tension on it until that first needle picks it up, and then you can loosen it, or just, you know, normal tension. First row, always make sure that these little loops are going down over the red teeth. They're a little tight. Said to do it loose, and I thought I did, but it's not loose enough. Okay. And there we go. And then I'm coming up, this is my first needle, or the last one in this row. Make sure it goes down underneath that divider that's beside it. See how it popped down? Now you can go back. Okay, now I'm gonna make sure that that loops over the red teeth. I'm gonna put some tension on it. Now I'm gonna loosen my tension. I'm gonna go back. When I get to these black needles, this one here, snap, counts row 2. Okay. This is the last needle. I need to make sure it goes underneath that red divider that's to the left of it. Pop down there, and once it does, it's ready to turn and go the other way. It's over that divider, which is what we need it to be. Put some tension on it. See? Till that picks it up, then you can loosen your tension. And we're going to knit 5 rows. Okay, so this is 3. Down over that divider. Tension. And loosen. These black needles are going to count. 4. This is my last needle to be worked, so I'm going to wait till this yarn passes down underneath that red divider that's to the left of it. Boom, there it goes, and then I can go back. 5. Okay, now we're going to start our knit one, purl one, and that's going to make our ribbing. Okay, so easiest way to do that is to take this out of the yarn guide. We're going to, oops, actually that wasn't true. I should have waited till the first needle, so pretend that I didn't do that. Okay, we're going to go back. We're going to watch it pop over this red divider under that first needle, and then we're going to take it out, okay? Because we're going to knit the first one until that needle drops down, and then you can put that between the red teeth and wrap it around your counter. That way, it holds that in place. You're going to then push down that needle a little bit, that second one. We're going to purl this row. So we're going to take that loop off the needle. Be very careful because we're only going to unpick 5 rows, okay? So to do that, we're going to hold our thumb and our finger there. We're going to hold our fabric very tightly so that we can make sure that then we're going to slip it down as we go. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This loop is the one you want to make sure you're holding with your fingers so it doesn't undo, because then you'll start over, okay? And then we're going to put our hook. I'm going to take a 4.0 millimeter hook, 4.0. For an adult, I use a 5, but I want a tighter rib. So I'm going to put my hook in that hole, okay, that way. Then I'm going to grab that first bar, bring it through. Grab the next bar, bring it through the loop. Grab the next bar, bring it through. This is 4, and 1 more, 5. Okay, then you're going to pop this one underneath, this edge underneath that red divider, and this edge underneath that red divider, so that when you pull up on this to put it over the needle and over those red teeth, it doesn't affect these 2 stitches, okay? So that's knit 1, purl 1. Unravel, put it under that divider, back this up just a little bit so it can get underneath that purl row. You're going to knit that one now, and that second one. Put this between those 2 red teeth, wrap it around, and you're going to purl this one. So knit, purl, knit, purl. I'll do one more purl with you, and then I'll set you off on your own. And if you need to see that again, then you can back it up, okay? We're going to take that off. We're going to hold this with our finger and our thumb, fingers on the opposite side, underside. Then we're going to unpick 1, 2, 3, 4, and friends, go slow. You don't need to do this fast. You want to make sure that you only unpick 5 rows and that you hold this loop that's under my thumb there till you get your hook there, okay? Then grab that first bar, bring it through the loop. Second bar, bring it through the loop. I love doing this. It is actually so much fun. 3, if you haven't done it before, it's a good challenge for you. 4 and 5. Pop that down underneath that red divider on that side, under the red divider on that side. Then I can pull up on this and bring it over the red teeth and the white needle. Unravel this, okay? So I knit, purl, knit. This is my purl row, but I still have to work it with my working yarn, so back it up just a little bit. See, now I can knit that off. Then I'm going to knit this one. Okay, this one's knit. That means this is purl, so I'm going to put that between the red teeth. Oh, what the heck, I'll do one more with you just because it's so fun. And we're going to take that off. Unpick 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Carefully holding this loop, put your pick in there and that helps you grab it. And then we're going to put our crochet hook in there. Grab that bar, through the loop. That bar, through the loop. 3, 4, and this 5th one is a bit tight. Take it out from underneath that red divider and it helps. And 5, now put them back under the red divider, pull up on it, over the needle and over the red teeth. Okay, unwind, go under that divider, back this up just a little bit so you can finish off that purl row by knitting that needle. Go under the second one, and repeat the process until we get to the second last one, and then I will meet you back. All right, so I am on the second last one, and it looks like there's no row here. It's because it's pulling, but this one is still attached. The 19th one is still attached, so don't be fooled by that, okay? So I'm going to take 18 off, but I'm going to be very careful because it's on the edge and it's a little bit harder. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Of course, it's snagging with that little yellow orange fleck. Put that in there. Work up 1. And 2. Be very careful with this last one that you're doing. It's a little difficult to do. 3, go slower. 4 and 5. Underneath those 2 dividers on either side of the needle. Over. Under that divider. Under this needle. And knit off that last one. We're going to go under the divider. There we go. Don't let that needle pick it up. There we go. And now we have done our cast on row. We've done 5 rows, plus we've purled 1 row. So that is 6 rows that we've done all together. That's what your counter will say. And we are going to go just straighten it now until we get to 27 rows and finish 27 rows. So we have to do 21 more rows. You can reset your counter if you want, or you just keep going till it says 27, which is what I'm going to do. But let me just get this in place. So make sure that you don't knit this extra needle, because then you're going to be just adding, increasing. So I just had put it a little bit too far. So if you did too, Jen, lift it over that needle so that it's underneath the divider beside the last needle, the 19th needle, okay? And ready to go. Put some tension on it till that first needle picks it up, and then you're going to just keep going. Making sure all those little loops drop down over the red teeth. Okay, and it's going to drop down over that divider, and then I'm ready to go back. Okay, and back. So go till you have 27 rows in total, and I'll see you back. All right, and so to cast off, you're going to cut off a tail. Okay, open your latch. We're going to work it back just like that. Here's our first needles right here. We're going to grab our little needle. And we are going to rotate our barrel till that needle drops down and releases that loop, just like that. Okay. And we're going to take all of our stitches off. Okay. So you go ahead, take all your stitches off just like this, and when it's released from the machine, you go ahead and make 1 more exactly the same. And when you have that done, I will see you back, friends. All right, so we're going to do a flat panel again, but this time we are going to use waste yarn. You know what? You are learning so many things. If you're new, you're learning so many things in this little mitten video, aren't you? Okay, so we're going to bring our middle black needle there. Okay, we're going to cast on over 9 needles. So if this is 9 minus 1 is 8, so 4 on this side, 4 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're going to go behind and in front, behind and in front, behind and in front, behind and in front, behind. Okay, so that's the 9 needles under that yarn feeder, or pardon me, the red divider that's between this last needle that we're knitting and the one beside it. Okay, then we're going to go back just as I've done in that last section, and we're going to knit. Just as many rows as what you're comfortable knitting for. Waste yarn, I'm going to just do one more going back here. I think I did 6. Let's do 2 more. Okay. It's because I think I snagged one. And there we go. Okay. So now we've got our waste yarn done. Boom, underneath that little divider. Cut that yarn off. Bring that back. So this is your first needle to knit. Let's just drop that right into the center. Let's grab our working yarn. We're going to place it into our yarn guide. Oops. Set our counter to 0. Okay. Now I just hold this down with my hand like this, just so that when it passes over that yarn, over this divider there, it mimics the pattern that it's supposed to when it knits. Okay, so there it goes down underneath, but it's just going to fall because it's just a tail. But I'm going to take those 2 yarn ends and I'm going to just tighten them up just a little bit. Okay, and we're going to do row 1 and 2, popping that down when it gets to that part, and 3 and 4 5 6 7 oops, and one last row, 8. Okay, so I finished 8 rows. I'm going to cut off a tail long enough for sewing again. Open my latch, bring this, weave this back. Okay, there's our first needle that needs to come off. We're going to put our needle, where did you go? This one will work. Just like that, we're going to cast off. Okay, so you're just going to come back in this direction. They'll all come off. Get ready to be picked up. This isn't the best needle because it's got a little hook on it, but a little bend in the top, but it still works. It's the one I had close to me. So there we go. Remove that. And there you go. You got your cute little thumb. Remember, it's a toddler, 2 and a 3-year-old. So when you stretch that out, that's perfect. Make another one just exactly like that, and I'll see you back. All right, so there is our mittens. And we're going to now put those little thumbs aside. We're going to take our bigger pieces. We're going to stretch them, just be very gentle. Okay, and then we're going to work on this piece here. Okay, so this is where your tail is coming out, okay, of the top, and we want to tighten this row. And to do that, we're going to go across to the other end, okay, and you'll see all these little loops that are coming over the outside there. Okay, we're going to just take one, just grab any one, second one there that you see, and then grab that next one, and you're going to just tighten this. You see where those loops are. Okay, I'll just show you with a little needle here. So this loop, then this loop, then this loop, and this loop. You can even use a little tool there to pull them, just like that. I like to use my hands though. And you're going to go ahead. Sometimes you have to move it to see it, okay, because you'll miss one. If you pull on it and it doesn't do anything like this, then you know you've missed one, okay, because sometimes they hide in there. Like, and then you're going to just pull that up to tighten. Okay, we're taking the slack out of there. Like this one was hard to see. So we're going to pull on that. Just makes a nicer edge. This was really intimidating to me when I first learned how to do this. I thought, oh, how do I tighten this properly? But you know what? Don't think too hard. Just follow those little loops and you will get it. See this next one here? I'm going to pull it. And then, which is the next one? Nope, not that one. This one. Okay. Maybe you need to put your finger in there so you can hold it out of the way. I was going to naturally grab that one, but there's this one. Okay, there we go. And then I'll grab this one. With these little flecks in it, sometimes it snags, so. And this one. And I think there's one more there to grab somewhere in there. It's really tight. Right down in there, I think, is where it is. Yep. When you think you're done, you're not. Let me get this out of the way here. I think I have this one here to pull yet. Let me just pull it and see. Or is it the one back there? Nope, that's not the right one. It's this one. Nope, it's this one. Right here. All else fails, pull on your yarn tail and it'll show you where it is. Gets a little tricky, as you can see, but again, it's mostly because there's so many flecks in this. Oops, that's the wrong one. Pulling this way. Pulling this way, okay? Then I can pull this one. See? Just take your time. You'll get it. And there you go. You have a beautiful finished edge. And you can go ahead and make that tighter if you want to, okay? But I'm going to just leave it like that. And we're going to then, let me see, do I need it tighter? This is like this. No, I think that's perfect, okay? You don't want it too tight, but you can go ahead and if you need to tighten it up just a little bit. I just said no, but I think I'm going to actually just a tiny wee bit. So I'm going to go back to every one of those little loops and I'm going to pull it across just like what I did, okay? So go ahead and do that and make your edging of your band just the way you want it. Just doing ever so slightly, but you know what? Ever so slightly makes a difference. And I'm going to go right to the end here and I'll see you back when I'm done. All right, so we're going to take our mitten. We are going to take this long end here. We're going to thread it on our needle. And we're going to put the right sides together, okay? I had to add a piece of yarn there. We're going to go across, let's take it from this side over to this side, and we're going to go underneath that first row of stitches, all those loops that are along that top there, okay? Just like this. Very easy to see, very easy to do, all the way around, okay? Just like that. Tuck in those little tails. I should have cut these, I should have made these a little bit longer so I could hide them better, but I'll get them hidden, no problem. Okay, and then we're going to pull that tight and we're going to go around and reinforce it once, okay? So all the way around that top row of stitches a second time. Just like that, okay? Then I'm going to just attach this to the other side, tie a knot, and we are going to begin mattress stitching up the side here. But we're not going to go all the way up because we have to leave space for our little thumb. So we've got our cuff that ends right here. We're gonna just go down about 1/4 of an inch or so, 3 stitches. So if this is where the cuff ends, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. All right, so I'm inserting a little clip here. I'm just interrupting the previous thought that I was telling you. But have your child, I don't have a 2-year-old in my home, so I am just guessing where this goes, but I think it should probably go down just a little bit further. But have them put their hand, once you start mattress stitching up here, have them put their hand in so their hand is in the right place, like that, okay? And then figure out where the thumb would be. So if their hand is in there and their thumb is coming here, then just mark this space right here so that you know that's where their thumb goes. And that will help you get a better positioning of the actual thumb. Okay, so this is the one that I've got done. So dang cute. Just love it. But like I said, it might need to go down just a little bit, but you have to determine that with your 2-year-old, okay, or your 3-year-old, and figure out where exactly that fits the best by them putting their hand in here to the end and then judging it before you match or stitch it completely closed, okay? So that's my tip for you before you continue on. We're gonna go 2. 3 might be too high. We're gonna go 2. 2 down, and that's where we're going to end, but we also have to leave a hole. So if I say the second stitch down here, right there, and the second stitch on the other side, sometimes these plastic things don't like to go into our stitch, do they? Just like that, okay? Then we're going to seam this up until we get, now let me put the other stitch marker in. Our thumb hole has to be, when we made our thumb, we did it across 9 needles. So we need to leave nine holes here, okay? 9 stitches. But if we do 8, it'll fit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's so tiny. And 4 on the other side. 1, 2, 3, and 4 right there. Okay, so this is where our thumb is going to go, right in there. How small is that? We're going to match your stitch up to this place here. So you're going to take your piece, you're going to fold it over so you can see where that very first row is, where the wide parts of the V go up. We're going to go in, pick up 2 bars, over to the other side, pick up 2 bars. I'm going to trail this up as I go, okay? And then I'm going to go across to the other side where I came out. I'm going to pick up 2 bars. And over to this side where I came out here, pick up 2 bars, 1, 2. Easy way to hide that little tail, okay? And then I'm going to go back in, pick up 2. You go in where you came out, pick up 2. In where you came out, pick up 2, and you keep going right up to that first stitch marker, okay? I'm going to pull this tight just like that. See how that closed that very beautifully and hid those 2 little tails? Wonderful, okay? Then we're going to continue. Do you know, after you make the first one, the first mitt, and get it all assembled, you will realize how fast you can actually whip these off. They are not hard to make. There we go. But yet so very cute. I'm going to go up to my stitch marker there. And then the 2 on this side. I'm going to pull that. Okay, just like that. Oops, don't want to gather too much. Then I'm going to tie off a little knot here, just a little one. Not one that they'll feel. I'm going to trail this up to my next stitch marker, being careful that I don't gather that thumb as I do so. You can take this out, keep your eye on where that stitch is, okay? I'm going to come up into that stitch right like that, and then I'm going to continue after stitching closed, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's my row? There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. I think I got this turned a little bit, but I'm going to just pick up where I can see, okay? Just like that. Being very careful then to pinch here and pull, because you don't want to You don't want to gather it right in here where you trailed up your yarn, okay? So there we go. I've got that sewn off there. I'm going to just attach my 2 corners just like this. And I've got that sewn. I can take this stitch marker out. I'm going to tie another little knot just with these 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hide my yarn tails, and I'll see you back. Do that with your second mitt as well, and we'll see you back. All right, friends, we are on the little tiny weeny thumb. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to, before you do this, if this piece down here is too short, then tie on a piece, which is what I've done. I strung a piece of yarn. I'll show you what I did. I should have done it on camera, but I didn't. I strung, let's pretend this is really short. I strung one through there, following that same trail where that is, just like this. So I had a long end up here. Then I pulled this one out and tied a knot here and then hit it, okay? And that's how I made myself a longer strand. So you're going to need that so that we can do a slip stitch on this edge here. So we're going to take our crochet hook and we're going to stick it underneath that first stitch right there that you find in your waist yarn, okay? Then we're going to yarn over and pull it through. We're going to keep that fairly loose, okay? Then we're going to go into that next one, yarn over, pull it through that one and through the one on your hook. Again, I'm keeping this loose. I'm going to go into that next one. It's so hard to work with small things. Yarn over, pull through, and pull through. And we're going to go all the way down the row. Okay. Now, essentially, if this was like a blanket or something where I needed that edging, this is on the wrong side, right? So I would have done it the other way, but that's okay because this is going to be sewn down onto the mitt. So it really, really doesn't matter. So this is the easier way to do it. I'm going to grab into that last loop, just like that. I'm going to yarn over and pull through. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to attempt to take off this waist yarn. Now this, my friends, is where I will tell you, and I'm not too proud to tell you, I can't figure out how to take this off without having to cut it off because it makes a funny end here. And with the black yarn, you can't see the knots anyways. I figured if I just kind of looped this through until I got, I don't know, until I got enough there that I could pull it out like I normally do, that I could just unravel it. But number one, I can't see my stitches because it's black. But you generally have to unravel the first row. I can't do it. The first row, and then and then you can just unravel it. I know some of you are screaming at me right now. You're going to say, put in an extra line in the last row that you just pull out and then the rest falls off. On a little piece like this, I guess I could have, but I didn't. And I just cannot figure out how, for the life of me, you get this waist yarn off on a flat panel. On a tube, no problem. Of course, it's easy. But on a flat panel, it's different on the sides and it causes you havoc. So be careful you don't cut your project. But I'm going to just go into that last row there and I'm cut these loops. And I know this is so unprofessional, and I'm sorry, but I don't have all the answers. I tried to have as many as I can, but I cannot figure out for the life of me how to easily take off the waist yarn at the beginning of a project on a flat panel. I would love you to tell me. So if you know, put it in the comments, and hopefully I can understand it and do it the next time, because I tell you, I have tried to figure it out many times, and I just can't. So, and no, there are no YouTube videos on it. I don't think anybody's figured it out, to be honest with you. Otherwise, there'd be YouTube videos. But if there is a YouTube video, then like link it in my Facebook group and put, Shelley, this is for you. How to remove a flat panel, the waste yarn from the top of a flat panel. Okay, so all I did now is I took this waste yarn and I went, or this yarn end, and I went around and went in through those stitches the opposite way so that I can then cinch it up and make the top of the thumb. Isn't that just precious? Okay, then I'm going to go into that top stitch there, knot this off, and we're going to go ahead. Make sure you give it a good stretch, okay? Apparently, a 2 to 3 year old's thumb is only an inch long, so we got it here. Like, this is according to my research. And this is 1 3/4 inches, so it should fit. If it doesn't, and you have a 2 or 3 year old, then you have to measure and go from there. I'm giving you the basics of the pattern, and you can tweak it how it works for you, okay? And then I'm going to just mattress stitch this up. Okay. Just had such a good supper. It's my husband's birthday today, and we went for supper, and he's watching a hockey game right now, so I get to finish this. And I had the best burger that you could ever have. Like, it was so delicious. I'm gonna pull on that. It's, you know what's causing me the problems with this is those little fibers things that are in here. So if you have little fibers like that that are sticking out of your yarn, then do 3 or 4 stitches and then pull it to tighten. Okay, it'll be a lot easier on you. Okay, so there we go. We have our little thumb. Now what we're going to do to add it is we're going to put our mitt inside out, just like that. Okay, this would be nice to have the garter stitch showing for a mitt too, because those little flecky things are more prominent. Then you're going to take your little thumb and you're going to stick that in that little thumb hole that we created, just like so. Bring it down so it matches the side there. I always start on the bottom here. Line that up. How come I got 2? I should have hid this one first, but I'm going to just leave it for the sake of this video. And we're going to just, I'll hide it later. We're going to just pick that up and go around, grab the very edge and underneath the full stitch that we made when we crocheted that. Here's my stitches that we used to crochet. We slip stitched into, okay? And we're going to just go around, all around our little thumb, just like this, picking up every stitch until we get to here. Oh, good thing I left that. Then I'm going to tie a knot and then hide those 2, and we will be done. So go ahead, keep joining your thumb on, and then tie a knot to this really good, and then hide your ends, and I'll see you back. Okay, friends, like, are those not the cutest little things? My goodness, I think they're so cute. So again, you're going to put the child's hand in there, and then you're going to position this thumb, because it might have to go down a stitch or 2. But you know what? This is just me playing around, trying to help you find a pattern for 2 and 3 year olds. And this is what I came up with. And the basic pattern works. Like, it's beautiful. Again, all you got to do is position the thumb where it fits. And if you have a 2 or 3 year old at home, you're ahead of the game, because I don't. So I'm just guessing that's where it goes. Okay, so there you have it. All right, so we're going to make the matching beanie for our mitts, and I'm excited to use my Sentro 40 needle machine because it's perfect circumference for a toddler. And I don't use this machine very often, which is why it's dusty, but it's so pretty. Sentros are so pretty. Okay, so we're going to take our yarn and we're going to go behind that first block, in front, behind, and in front, all the way around, and cast on. And you know what? There's always that age-old question, is the Addi really better than the Sentro, or, you know, are they the same? And, you know, really, you get what you pay for, right? And the Addi is much more expensive because it's a much better machine. This will work, and the Sentros all will work. But the difference is that one is really flimsy and one is really, really well made. And you can feel the difference. Even the handles are smaller on the Sentros and harder to hold. Okay, first of all, I'm going to stop talking about that, and I'm going to put this into the second yarn tensioner there, okay? And then I'm going to just turn like this. I'll go a little bit slow for the first. But having said that, I will say I love my Sentros. They're quieter, they seem smoother, but they do feel flimsier. They don't feel like they feel cheaper. And they don't have counters, so this is row 2. I have to count every row, make sure I don't lose count. This is row 3. And so I have this little row counter. I took the strap off because it always got in my way, and I'm just gonna click 3. When I'm not talking, I will do 10 rows and then I'll click 10, and then every 10 rows I add to it, and that's what helps me count. I know I can get the ones that you can attach, but I don't need to. This works fine for me for the amount of times I use my Sentros, okay? So this is row 4, I think. I'm gonna do 100 rows for a 1 to 3-year-old with a brim. I gotta mark this because I just know. Okay, so 100 rows is what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna keep going. And just a little tip for you guys too. I'm gonna stop talking because I'm going to stop cranking because I'm going to get messed up. That's the one thing with the Sentro. If you don't have an accurate counter, you have to really concentrate because you want your row count to be right. But I take my Addi clamps and I put them around my legs of my Sentro, and that's what holds this down. This is solid on my table. So you can go ahead and do that too. That's a little tip for you. But keep going. If you want a 1 to 3-year-old beanie with no brim, do 90 rows. If you want a 1 to 3-year-old with a brim, do 100 rows, okay? And I'll see you back when you get there. I'm gonna do 100 rows. All right, so just a little tip if you're new. Once your project hits the table and it starts bunching up like this, you need to roll it up into a donut, because if you don't, the looser this gets, the more risk you have of dropping these little loops off, these little pink teeth. And if you do that, your row will drop, okay? So you're going to, will unravel. So you're going to just pick it up, roll it into a little donut, and let it sit there, and you just keep going. All right, so once we have that done, we are going to cut off a tail long enough to go around your machine 1.5 to 2 times, okay? And then we're going to cast off. So take that out of the yarn feeder and make sure it's between the last white and the first black, okay? You know what? I don't even know what the numbers are on this. Can I even see them? They're so small, but I always like to have my black one as my first. And so that's just automatically what I do. I don't pay attention to the numbers there. This one might, let me see. I don't know who can see the numbers on there. I certainly can't. So I use, if I'm confusing you, it's because I always make this black one. Needle number 1, and this is the last one, okay? And then I take a black permanent marker and I mark that divider between the two, so I always see when it's coming around, okay? So we're going to rotate our barrel until we get our stitches released. That needle was too big. It won't fit in there like it fits in my Addi. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove that one. Okay. And the next, and the next. And the next, put your finger over that next one if it's tight, because you don't want it to fall off while you're pulling your yarn tail through, okay? And you're going to continue releasing your stitches just like this, okay? Pulling them through and continuing around until you have all of your stitches off. Now, of course, you could have used your 46 needle machine for this as well, and it would have worked just as good as your 40 for this project. I often make most of my infant beanies that I've made are on my 46 needle machine. And now that I've got this 40, I've had it for quite some time now, but before that, I always made every size of beanie on my 46 needle machine and always worked out for me, okay? So keep going till you get all your stitches off and I'll see you back. All right, so I have my piece off the machine. We are going to unroll it, okay, just like this. So the right side is out. Such pretty yarn, okay? We are going to stretch it widthwise all the way down and then lengthwise, the whole piece, okay? Get all those stitches softened up and rows in line, and it's just absolutely beautiful, okay? There we go. We've got our beanie tube. Now we're going to assemble. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take any end. Let's start with this one. We're going to just smooth that out and pull. And pull. Okay, then you're going to go ahead and make this short because you do not need a long one. Make it easier on yourself. And we're going to go around and we're going to reinforce that top. Okay, so all around that first row of stitches, just like this. Pick up a few and pull. Smooth it out. Pick up another section and pull. Okay. All the way around. I think I have just a few more to do. Just giving it some strength. Okay. Pull that through. Tighten it really tight. Tie a knot. Just need one just to secure it. Just like that. Then you're going to pop your hand into that beanie and you're going to push that needle through that center there. Grab it with your hand on the inside and you're going to pull that yarn through. Give it a little tug and that knot goes right in there. Perfect. Then you're going to pinch the top like that and bring it through. Okay? Just like that. We can take our needle off, make sure that your yarn tail stays out, and you're going to do the same thing to this end now. You're going to go ahead, smooth it out. You're going to reinforce it all around just like what we did to the other side, okay? Making sure that this tail stays out. Go ahead, reinforce it, and I'll see you back. All right, so I've got that complete, and I'm going to take that inside one now, and be careful you don't snap it because you don't want it to break. And I'm going to pull it up as far as I can get it, okay? So I can see that knot, so I know I'm right up to the top. And I'm going to take these two. I'm going to tie a knot. Okay, so there's one. Being very careful because it really does snap. It's not that hard to snap. Okay, but that's tight. They're right up against each other. Then I'm going to tie another knot. And in this part of the project, I always tie 3, okay? I just feel better about it. I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to then put it on my needle. And I'm going to hide it in between the 2 layers. Right in between the 2 layers, just like that. Pull on it, cut it off, then pull up. And then you're going to take your hands and you're going to smooth out this beanie all around, just like that, okay? Look at that. They can wear it as a little slouchy beanie. That'd be really cute. Roll up the brim just like that. And this fits a toddler, okay? 2 to 3-year-old is what I've aimed for. 1 to 3-year-old is what this will fit, okay? I'm going to go ahead, add my pom-pom, and I'll be right back with you. For this particular beanie, I'm going to use the Clover Pom-Pom Maker. This is the 3rd largest in the size in the 4 that I have. It's got a 65 on the back if that helps you find it. And I do have a video on my channel about how I use the Clover Pom-Pom Maker. I make these so tight. The way I tie it around, they will not come undone. So go watch that on my channel. And I will show you how I use the Clover Pom-Pom Maker because I'm not going to do a tutorial on that on this. I'm just starting it here with you. But then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish it and we're going to add it together, okay? All right, there it is. Beautiful. Now, I always give it a haircut to make it perfect. And I always, let me just cut that little thing off. I always miss a few. But when I get it on, then I assess the situation again and I make it even more perfect. So we're going to take one of these strands, put it on our needle. Now you can do removable pom-poms too. I'm choosing not to. I'm going to just put that through that center, pull that through. Then I'm going to grab this other one. You could also choose any of the color of the flecks in there and make a pom-pom that color and add it. Wouldn't that be pretty? Okay, then I'm going to add this next one, but I'm not, I need to go in that same hole, but I'm going to grab just one strand there and then push it through, just so that, just so there's something to tie these two strands around, right? Because if they're in the same hole and they're not around something, then it's just going to pull it back out, okay? So then you're going to just pull that pom-pom as close to the hat as you can, and we are going to tie off. And 3. Okay, then you can go ahead, put this back on your needle. I have a funny feeling my camera's too low, so that's why I'm a little bit scrunching a little bit here. And you're going to poke that in, go in between the 2 layers, just like that. Cut it off. Turn your beanie around. And there you go. Isn't that just so pretty? Okay, so we grab our little mitts. Where are you, little mitts? There they are. That looks pretty big compared to the mitts, but it's not once you get it on their head. You got a nice wide brim so that their ears stay nice and warm. And there you go. What a precious little set. And there it is. Isn't that a precious little set? Oh, I just love this yarn. This is more true to the color than the last few clips that you saw. I was finishing it down in my basement, and it's later at night, and there's no natural light coming in the windows. But this is more true to the color, and it's just beautiful. So thanks again for joining me. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and come on over to my Facebook group and show us the sets that you make. We would love to see. I would love to see them, and that's the only way I can see them. So post your work in my Facebook group. All right, friends, take care. Thanks again for joining me. It's always a pleasure spending time with you. I'll see you in the next video.